This episode is a hackathon.
Hold on. Let me check the dictionary. Hackathon. Noun. An event in which a large number of people engage in collaborative computer programming.
No. In this case, we're using the Trader Joe's dictionary. Hackathon is defined as an event in which we share hacks, meaning solutions or workarounds, as in the phrase life hacks, or in this case, Trader Joe's product hacks.
Got it. Now that would be a lot more fun. Let's go inside Trader Joe's.
I'm Tara Miller, Director of Words and Phrases and Clauses here at Trader Joe's.
And I'm Matt Sloan, the marketing product guy. You know, social media just can't seem to get enough of what you would call Trader Joe's product hacks.
It's true. I mean, have you seen the hashtag Trader Joe's hacks?
As a matter of fact, I have, after I've been scrolling through pictures of cats and cute babies and the thermometers in August.
Listen, we didn't create this hashtag, but it is how some customers are sharing their suggestions of creative ways to use Trader Joe's products. And it got us thinking, let's chat with our crew members about some of their favorite ideas.
All right, then. Trader Joe's product hack number 1.
And these are in no particular order.
From the DIY Dessert Fun Time file of hacks, here's a neat thing to do with those little 6-pack cups of yogurt. And I'm going to call this put a stick in it and freeze it.
And that's exactly what I did. This comes from crew member Tori at store 164 in Spokane, Washington. Pretty cool. I did this at home last night in preparation for today. I literally just stuck those little craft sticks. You know, they look like popsicle sticks that come on a popsicle, but you buy them at a craft store generally. And I just stuck one inside each of the yogurt cups and put them in the freezer overnight.
Voila.
Solid.
Voila.
Voila.
W-A-L-L-A.
Well, that's a different place in Washington. You want to try vanilla or blueberry?
I'm vanilla all the way.
I'll try the blueberry one. All right, I just got to get it out of the little pop, the little cup. Oh, just push it.
It's like the sword and the stone. I am
got
not
mine
worthy.
out.
How are you doing this?
I'm just squeezing it from the top. Oh, that looks really good, actually. Squeeze the top.
That was an awkward.
There you go. All right, cheers.
That's good. There's no weird icy bits. The texture's fantastic.
That's delicious.
That's good.
Hack number 1, successful. Matt, let's do more desserts because we got some great dessert hacks. One of them was intriguing enough for me that I baked last night.
So is this a recipe, a hacked recipe, a recipe hack?
Yes, all of the above.
All of the above.
So it basically takes our vanilla cake mix and you prepare it according to the package instructions, except you omit the milk. By leaving out the milk, you get what ostensibly feels like a vanilla brownie.
It looks a little bit like there's that thing sometimes known as a butter cake in parts of the country.
The hack that was submitted to us from Cynthia at store 715 in Woodbury, Minnesota, says to use it as a strawberry shortcake shortcut. So I got some strawberries and some whipped cream, and I sprinkled a little bit of sugar on the top.
See, this is when you're like hacking the hack.
Got whipped cream in a can because while I was willing to bake, I didn't really feel like making freshly whipped cream this morning.
And it's the closest thing we could get to spray cheese, so I'm excited.
Exactly. All right.
This looks great.
All right, now I'm going to cut some for me as well. All right, how are we feeling about this?
I like the cake a lot. I actually might like the cake in this form more than regular cake. It's very dense. It has that chewiness. I like the edges that get a little crispy.
It does taste sort of like a vanilla version of a brownie.
That's a fun one.
It has that. We did get a bunch of other dessert hacks. One that I thought was really, really cool is sprinkling chili lime seasoning on vanilla ice cream. That one, interestingly, also came from a crew member in Woodbury, Minnesota, store 715. That crew member's name is Jenny.
Woodbury, Minnesota, the hotbed of hacks.
Right?
I'd be interested in trying that chili lime spice on vanilla ice cream.
Yeah. We got a lot of suggestions for hacks surrounding our flowers and plants. So I kind of thought the best person here in the office for us to talk to about this would be our friend Maggie, who is our category manager for flowers and plants.
Makes perfect sense.
Hi, Maggie.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Great.
Do you have favorite hacks, so to speak, to keep flowers looking their best longer?
I do. Whenever I see flowers in a vase and I see foliage in the water, my body cringes. I tense up and I'm like, oh, bacteria is growing, taking days off the flower. I have
explain that a little bit.
So we get a lot of emails from people who ask for the little packets that come with the bouquets. And they're like, they think that there's a secret sauce in there. And the reality of those little packets is they basically work to lower bacteria levels. So when you have a mixed bouquet and you have 5 or 6 different types of flowers that are in that bouquet and you put them in a vase of water and the foliage is still on the stem and it's in there, it just creates this perfect breeding ground of bacteria. And the point of those packets is to try to hold the bacteria back. The best thing you can do for your flowers is to clean the foliage off the stem, give them a fresh cut and put them in fresh water every 1 to 2 days. I want to say 1, but I know that's asking a lot of people, so every 2 days. If you think of the stem as an oil filter and the oil filter gets clogged, how does the water get to the head of the flower? It's a fresh cut and clean water.
So you said remove foliage. So you're talking about the stem that's under the water.
Yes.
No leaves.
Exactly. You should never have foliage under the water line of your vase. That just is like a mutation growing ground of nastiness. That will take.
Tell us how you really feel about that.
I can't express to you enough how strongly I feel about dirty water. It's such a simple thing, guys.
You said something else, though, that I find very interesting. Shorter stems equal longer vase life.
I was actually just in Ecuador and Colombia last week, and I was talking to a rose breeder about this. He goes, absolutely. The less of a distance the water has to travel to the head, the more direct shot it has towards the head. If you're going up a stem and the water's stopping at all of this foliage, it's taking energy from the flower. So you're directing the energy to the head will open, it will last longer.
We got some more to talk to you about.
I had a lot of coffee this morning.
All right, we're on a roll. Let's talk about hydrangeas. Domenica at store 615 in Brick, New Jersey says, my hack involves hydrangeas, which I buy often as they're my favorite flower. When the flowers start to wither, I get the teapot going and boil some water. I cut a slit in the stem and submerge it in the boiling water, and voila, my flowers are rehydrated and look like new.
It is very possible. Over the years, I've always told people in practice myself, put the hydrangeas in a bowl of water, or in my case, when I used to do event work, I'd put them in the bathtub, fill the bathtub with cold water, submerge all of the heads, put weights on top of them, and let them soak for 4 to 6 hours. And then you take them, cut them, and put them in water, and they rehydrate. I always tell people, if you think about a hydrangea head and how many blooms are on top of a hydrangea, it's a lot of work for flowers to get the water to all those blooms. And that's why there is a sound thought process behind that suggestion.
Okay, now tell us your thoughts on the penny in the bottom of a vase of tulips.
I've heard that for years, and people swear by it. I'm not sure exactly what it is. The copper does something to the water.
Which presupposes we're still using lots of copper in pennies, which I guess if you have a vintage penny that's mostly copper.
People do swear by it. If you look up penny, copper, tulip, you're going to get lots of people swearing by this particular hack.
If you're looking online, you're going to get lots of people swearing full stop. Tulips also like fresh cut and fresh water?
Absolutely. And the thing with tulips, you really should keep them in the sleeve.
What do you mean by in the sleeve?
So what you want to do is leave them in the sleeve, cut them, put them in a vase of water, let them have the drink, and the sleeve will keep them in the right position. With tulips, if you do that step after you take the sleeve off, the heads can be tilting downward. And if you hydrate them, they're going to hydrate with the heads in that downward position. Whatever position they're in is the position that they're going to hold when you start to hydrate. They need to give it a fresh cut, open all of the little pores so that the flower takes up the water, put it in a vase, and then they will harden up and they'll start to open.
How long do you leave them in the sleeve?
Probably 3 hours. You want to give them a nice drink. The same is true of daffodils, and that's when they'll pop open for you.
I have always thought I was just doing something wrong when my tulips just kind of fell over like that. And now I know that I wasn't leaving the sleeve on. Okay, here's a hack for smashing woody stems.
Oh, that's also the name of my new Smashing Pumpkins cover band. I hope you all show up to our opening gig Friday.
Okay. Smashing woody stems is a thing. I started smashing stems when I was 16, working in my first flower shop. The person who had that job had a big mallet and big piece of wood, and you literally hammer at the edge of the stems. It opens the pores and allows the branch to take up water.
Okay, I feel like we could do an entire episode just on floral hacks.
Let's do one more.
Okay.
One more.
Okay.
One more. What's the deal with using ice cubes to water plants?
There was a study that was done on orchids. The benefit of a customer or putting the correct amount of water in an orchid versus the potential damage of the cold of the ice on the basically the roots of the orchid. And it was determined that it is far more damaging to an orchid plant to be overwatered than the potential of the ice having an effect on the root. The number one cause of people losing orchids is overwatering. And the reality is the amount of water you're supposed to water is basically ice cubes or a shot glass. So you can use ice. It's a great way to water them. It's a slow drip.
Yeah, slow drip. That was my name in high school.
Yes.
My mother used to use ice cubes basically for all the plants in the house. She didn't want to forget to water them. They all seem to live.
Yeah. Flowers want simple existence. Fresh water, fresh cut, nice temperature, not too breezy. We tend to make it more complicated than it really is.
What's the whole show?
We're going to hack through some more. Maggie, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to talk with us.
It's always a pleasure, always great fun.
And here we go. We got some more hacks to get through, people. More hacks, especially dessert. Okay.
If you've made it this far, bless you. We got pucks. We have things with pucks. Cookie pucks. I like brookies. That great combo of a brownie and a cookie. Back to the baking mixes. That brownie truffle baking mix, so popular because it's so great. Make that as if you were going to make a regular pan of brownies.
Okay.
And before you pour it into your brownie pan, probably a 9x9 pan, take from the refrigerated section that refrigerated cookie dough, the chunky chocolate chip cookie dough. That's in little preformed pucks.
Okay.
Put the pucks on the bottom of the brownie pan, pour the brownie batter on top, bake as you would normally. Check for doneness like you would by inserting either a toothpick or a metal skewer. When it comes out clean, you're ready to go. You have brookies. So easy and cool and fun.
I like that idea.
More pucks.
What else
The
with
same
the pucks?
cookie pucks, the same chunky chocolate chip cookie dough pucks. Using a mini muffin tin, drop a puck in the tin, bake it off. When it comes out of the oven, done, they'll be like little chocolate chip cookie muffins. When they're still warm, you gently press into that freshly baked mini muffin cookie a peanut butter cup.
Ooh.
I'd go regular sized dark chocolate peanut butter cup, push that in there, let it get a little bit melty. Watch out, it'll be like hot lava.
Matt, there's one that came in from a crew member from our friend Meredith in the Boston office. She takes a tub of chocolate hummus and puts it in the freezer. And then when she wants a frozen dessert, she grabs the tub of chocolate hummus and just kind of eats it out of the tub with a spoon. So it's frozen, but it's still, you can still spoon it out kind of like ice cream. And according to Meredith, it's absolutely delicious and has a little protein. It's kind of a treat, but also like a little on the healthier side, maybe.
That's kind of like a sneaking your veggies into dessert hack.
Maybe.
So
Yep.
I've heard of people using that chocolate hummus to frost cupcakes or cakes.
Really? Here's another dessert-focused recipe hack from a mate in New Jersey. His name is Ben. His idea is to take our crescent rolls, you know, the dough in a tube, cut them up into pieces, smaller pieces, toss them in a deep fryer. Okay, I'm in. And then when they come out, toss them in powdered sugar, and he calls them, he makes them for Mardi Gras as like shortcut beignets.
So this is a hack for those of you who have a deep fryer just ready.
But I might try it in the air fryer and just see if that works. So it's like, you know.
There is no frying like deep frying. I mean, I get it. There's air fryers out there, but I think that the deep fried one would be really phenomenal.
That's a pretty cool hack, I think. We have moved into the Trader Joe's kitchen with our friend and crew member Alex for a category of hacks we will call delicious things you didn't know you could make. How about that?
Perfect.
Does that work?
Rolls right off the tongue.
Alex, we got a couple of great submissions from crew members, and we wanted to get your help in making these happen. So
Awesome, let's do it.
the first one is a mandarin orange chicken sort of fusion burrito.
Yum.
Okay, using mandarin orange chicken and the spicy Mexican-style riced cauliflower. And the other one is chicken tenders crusted with elote corn chip dippers and cooked in the air fryer.
Also yum. We're gonna take these corn dippers and throw them in a food processor.
The whole bag?
Why not?
Why not?
Okay.
I don't think you can have too much crunch. I'm gonna pulse it up until it looks like a breadcrumb.
If you don't have a food processor, you could do what Maggie was talking about doing with the woody stems. You could just smash them with a mallet, right?
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm gonna take these breadcrumbs, I'm gonna dump them in a bowl, and I'm gonna grab some chicken tenders.
Okay.
These are raw chicken breast tenders. And I'm not gonna coat them at all. I think maybe if you wanted to get a little extra, go a little above and beyond, you could probably brine them in buttermilk or dip them in an egg wash, but I think these are gonna stick just fine. So let's go right into the chip crumbs. The highest setting we can get on ours is 390, so we're gonna go there.
This particular hack comes to us from crew member James at store 460 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Oklahoma. Let's go.
We're adding no oil, which is really exciting. Let's see.
What do you think? How long do you think you're gonna put those in for?
I'm gonna put them in at 10 to start. They're really thin, so I'll put them at 10 to start, and then I'm gonna check on it.
Now, let's get going on our mandarin orange chicken burrito.
Okay, we're gonna go into the air fryer with the orange chicken as well. Orange chicken's in the air fryer. We're gonna do the same thing, 10 minutes.
Be sure you pull out the sauce packets.
They're out.
Okay.
You don't have to have an air fryer to do either of these things. You could put the chicken tenders in the oven or in a skillet. You can put the mandarin orange chicken in the oven the way the package instructions say to cook it.
Yep. Let's get started on this Mexican cauliflower rice.
So while the orange chicken is cooking, we'll get the rice going, the cauliflower rice going.
So I went into a pan with a little bit of oil in it. I went on high heat because I like to get the moisture out. If you go on too low of a heat, you kind of end up with a soggy situation. So I turn up the heat, get a little bit of color on it, get some of the moisture out.
That really is the trick, I think, when you cook cauliflower rice.
It's going to be great.
I think it's going to be great too. And I think if it comes out, there's tons of other options for this fusion idea. Like putting it in a tortilla in and of itself is fusion, but you can get creative. You could use our fried rice. You can use our chow mein. Those would probably make great burritos as well.
All right. Well, we don't have to talk the entire time because we have like 7 minutes. We're going to like cut to the end, right?
It would be great if it was just 7 minutes
Not
of like...
that. A sizzle. And fast forward.
Is it almost done?
All right.
Sounds like you're playing Keno in the Las Vegas airport.
Our orange chicken has been in the air fryer for about 11 minutes and it's nice and crispy. So we're going to take it, we're going to dump it in our pan, which we've kind of scooted the Mexican style cauliflower rice off to the side. We're going to share a pan and I'm going to sauce it all together. I'm going to pour the sauce over the chicken and kind of mix it a little bit with the rice. And then we're going to throw it in a warm tortilla.
Because that's all going to combine inside the burrito anyway, right?
So we're going to warm up a couple tortillas. Yeah, I'm just going to do them on the open flame, but some people have tortilla warmers, some people do them in a pan with a little bit of oil, but I think just over the open flame for a flour tortilla like this is perfect. Okay, so we got our warm tortilla. I'm gonna get a nice scoop, make sure I have a couple pieces of orange chicken, a good amount of Mexican style cauliflower rice.
This is a skill that everybody needs to learn, is how to roll a burrito.
That's a fairly macho burrito there, Alex.
Right?
I could say comfortably we're gonna make 4 large-sized burritos.
This is a feed 4 people for about $10 kind of hack. You got a package of tortillas, the mandarin orange chicken, and the rice, and that's it.
Let's give it a try.
Oh, heck.
Okay, that's pretty great.
You get like the crispy sweetness of the orange chicken, the spiciness of the Mexican style rice. You get a little of the vegetable flavors. It plays really well together.
Even without the burrito hack, serving this Mexican style riced cauliflower with the mandarin orange chicken is a great combo.
Yeah, you can cook the Mexican cauliflower rice while the orange chicken's in the oven and combine it. Yeah, you're looking at 10-15 minute dinner.
And it has vegetables, guys. That rice is actually vegetables. It's not rice, it's cauliflower.
That in and of itself is a hack. Someone hacked rice.
Someone made cauliflower taste good.
Cauliflower's always tasted great.
Okay, well, we can agree to disagree, but I like the riced version of cauliflower, especially with all of these added seasonings. Tomatoes, peppers, jalapenos, really good stuff.
Cilantro.
All right, what's that beeping?
I think that's our corn dipper breaded chicken. You can check on a piece. It's perfect.
Fork.
Thank you. We're gonna taste it right off the cutting board.
The chicken tenders came from crew member Denon in the state of Washington.
Thanks, Denon.
That's delicious.
It's amazing.
It's not too spicy. It's got a
Not
little...
too salty.
Not too salty. That chicken, considering it wasn't brined, like we didn't do anything to it. We opened the package and just rolled it in those chip crumbs. The chicken is really moist and
I
tender.
was going to say, actually, it's surprisingly moist because I would think this chicken would have dried out. So,
And the coating adhered really well.
It did, and there's nothing else on it. Okay, that's a win. Elote corn chip dipper crusted chicken tenders. Alex, thank you for once again helping us put our kitchen hacks together. I think this is great, and we will probably be asking you to do this again sometime in the future.
I'm happy to help. Thanks for having me.
And we got to eat. I'll take hacks that include shameless Trader Joe's product plugs for 100, Tara.
Excellent. This oft overlooked spice is made from peppers that are smoked and dried over oak fires.
What is smoked paprika?
That is correct.
I love this simple, basic, essential Spanish spice, this smoked paprika. It comes to us by way of a facility outside of Valencia, the area in Spain, and its power is in its simplicity, its focus. If you're looking for rich smokiness with this undertone of pepper, sweet pepper, like a bell pepper, not spicy, this is the thing for you. If you're roasting potatoes, if you're roasting any form of fowl, bird that is, poultry, anything, I like adding this to pasta sauces. I like adding it to soup. This is something you need to try. So this is kind of the opening salvo in a string of hacks that are really just introductions to things. And like, what do you do with them? You just start using.
Black garlic falls into that category as well.
It's black because it's fermented, so it's oxidized, it's changed. It takes a lot of time to go through that fermentation process. So to me, it adds the flavor of time, T-I-M-E kind of time. So if you're cooking a sauce or a soup and you want that depth of flavor that comes from long, slow, simmered cooking, throw in some of this black garlic.
I put it in eggs, I put it in soups, I put it in sauces. I'll season chicken with it before I put the chicken on the grill.
Just about anything is made better with this garlic.
I just love that product.
Something I would use alongside the smoked paprika and the black garlic is the organic garlic flavored extra virgin olive oil. If you are roasting vegetables, this is it. It is so good. Sunny side up eggs fried in this garlic olive oil are phenomenal. If you're barbecuing something and you've got some bread that's kind of getting a little sideways, just soak that in oil, grill that bread up. This garlic flavored olive oil is magic.
We sell just truckloads of instant coffee. And what I love is that people are using instant coffee for things that are not coffee, like inside a chocolate cake mix or in a recipe for chocolate chip cookies or anywhere you want to amplify the flavor of chocolate. Instant coffee is like a miracle.
It will absolutely do that. And coffee rubbed meats and things are great for the grilling season. I like that instant coffee sprinkled over ice cream.
Ooh.
Coffee's not only for breakfast, it turns out. I love this thing that's so prosaically named 100% ginger drink mix. This is a little box of little packets of spray-dried ginger powder that you can reconstitute. I love it as a cup of hot ginger tea, but I also love to add it to marinades and dressings. It is intense. It has got a lot of ginger flavor, some of that ginger heat, which is a little different than, say, a chili pepper heat, but that is a cool product. And I actually like it with that organic spicy honey sauce. Now, we call that thing a sauce because it's more than honey. It's got vinegar and chili.
We can't just call it honey because it has other things in it.
I would use that spicy honey as like a finishing sauce on a piece of fish, that if you poached it and it maybe needed a little bit of unctuousness.
I have used that spicy honey to be a finishing sauce for a big pan of roasted Brussels sprouts. Just as they're finishing, like take them out of the oven while they're really, really, really hot and drizzle some of that honey on the top.
A big pan of oven roasted carrots.
Yes.
I'm thinking of other sort of squeezable, sweet, saucy things, short and to the point. We call this product glaze. Now, we used to call it balsamic glaze, but apparently outside of Modena in Italy, there's like a balsamic consortium that wouldn't let that leave the country. So now it's just glaze, but it's basically grape must, balsamic vinegar. Think of like a really syrupy, thick balsamic kind of thing that you can put over anything that could use a little bit of acidity, a lot of sweetness, and that sticky, almost molasses-like quality. My daughter, she'll use it on rice bowls where we've got a bunch of vegetables or maybe a piece of grilled salmon, and just to kind of dress it up.
Again, it is just called glaze.
It is just called glaze. We've saved what I think is the best for last. This hack, truly life-changing.
Wow. Can it really live up to that?
I think it can. Peanut butter. We've been selling peanut butter for years, decades even, and we've sold a lot of natural peanut butter. Natural peanut butter separates naturally. You get all that oil on top. Here's the hack. Here's the trick. Buy a jar ahead and take that extra jar in your pantry, in the cupboard at home, and turn it upside down. Store it upside down. Now, when you're ready to use it, that first jar is almost done. Take the upside down jar, put it in the fridge, still upside down. Now, when you're ready to mix it up, the oil that has risen to the top is actually on the bottom. So when you flip it, it's much easier, much less messy to stir the oil back in. It's already cold, and it will stay relatively homogenized after mixing it back in the fridge.
It really does change the way that you experience the whole natural peanut butter thing.
You don't need a special stir. Just use this handy-dandy method.
This was a really fun episode, Matt.
I have a feeling that we might do another Trader Joe's product hacks episode someday.
And hey, if we do, we'd like to include your hacks. Please email your Trader Joe's hacks to podcastquestions@traderjoes.com. We may share it.
Sharing is caring. Another way to share is to leave us a rating or a comment on your podcast app. That helps.
And be sure to hit that free subscribe or follow button.
It is free and worth every penny.
Until next time, thanks for listening.
And thanks for listening.